doing it. So, sit back and relax and listen to these crazy stories with me and help me decide if these people are assholes or not. But more often than not, it's the other person they're talking about in these stories that is the asshole in the situation that is being discussed. So, let's see if that trend continues with these stories. Not sure how many I'm gonna read. We're just gonna keep going until I hit like a certain time on the video, I think. So anyway, I feel like last time we got like 7 stories or something done, is what I want to guess, but I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. So, starting off with an interesting one, a very intense sounding one going by the title. It says, "Am I the asshole for refusing to let my dad walk me down the aisle after he chose his new family over me?" Okay. So, this one isn't that long. So, my parents divorced when I was 9. My dad remarried within a year and slowly stopped showing up. First, it was missed birthdays, then school events, then no showing up, then no showing on weekends. we were supposed to spend together. Oh yeah, by the way, the majority of these stories also have typos, so if I stumble over it, that's why I try to make it sound right, unless I can't figure it out. So, we were supposed to spend time together. He had 2 new kids, and suddenly I became this awkward reminder of his past life. I still tried, though. For years, I called, I sent photos, I even asked if I could come visit. He always had excuses, like busy or work. Maybe next month. At some point, I just stopped trying. Fast forward to now, I'm 26 and getting married. My stepdad, who raised me since I was 11, has been everything my biological dad was not. So I asked him to walk me down the aisle. My biological father found out through family and flipped. He called me crying, saying I was punishing him forever for making mistakes, and that I was embarrassing him in front of everyone. But he made his choice. He was never there. Why should he get the honor now? My aunt says I'm being dramatic and I should let bygones be bygones, but it doesn't feel right, so am I the asshole? I mean, this one's easy. This one is so insanely simple. No, you're not the asshole. Obviously, the dad is the asshole here. And there's no doubt about that. Yeah, he just slowly stopped showing up and just stopped trying. Then, no, you don't deserve to walk your daughter down the aisle, my guy. That's not how this works. And the aunt, I'm assuming it's the dad's sister and not the mom's sister. So, she doesn't even get a say in the matter. Like, yeah, no. Definitely not the asshole in that situation. Okay. How about... Okay, this one. Am I the asshole for ending my relationship with my autistic sister? Alright, let's, Okay, this one's kinda long. This one's pretty long. Let's see. Okay. I have a sister, a few years younger than me, who is autistic. She was only diagnosed last year after she got fired from her job because she kept saying rude things to her coworkers and clients. And so she went to see a counselor who recommended testing. We were somewhat close as kids, but have drifted apart as adults. We both moved out of state. I moved back 2 years ago to take care of our mother. Our father has passed away. We have our own busy lives. relationship going since she never reaches out. She says it's just part of how her brain works, and I need to just accept that and not hold it against her. If the relationship is important to me, then I need to take the initiative and keep it going. But don't contact her too often because it exhausts her having to respond. Once a month. What's the original rule? Now it's once every 3 months. Because once a month was too taxing on her. Everything about our relationship revolves around how she feels and what makes her comfortable. The older she gets, the more self-absorbed she becomes. Her entire life seems to revolve around what makes her feel most relaxed. So, here's the last straw that broke the camel's back for me. Our mother died last month. I asked my sister to visit when it was clear that we were reaching the end, and she did. But made the entire experience about her. She could not visit our dying mother too long because she couldn't stand the smells in her room. She wanted me to change things in my house to make her feel more comfortable, like buy new towels because the old ones had a texture she didn't like. She did not stay for the funeral because she was completely burned out from being away from home for a week. I decided to cut her off after that. I'm done. She does not seem to care about our relationship, and with Mom gone, there's nothing left holding us together. She called for my birthday earlier this week, and I told her not to bother anymore. She seemed surprised, but agreed easily and hung up. I haven't heard from her since. My brother-in-law has texted me, encouraging me to keep fighting for the relationship, and says that my sister is sad that I've cut her off. My husband agrees that there is nothing beneficial to me about our relationship, and thinks it's best to focus on grieving my mother and supporting our daughters. So, am I the asshole for giving up on my autistic sister? No. No. Honestly. Even... Okay, I know, I understand having autism. Obviously, a lot of things are difficult and are acceptable, but when it comes to something like that, for your to be that self-absorbed even around your own dying mother, that is something just truly just insane to me. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've got, like, anything. Like, if it gets to that point, I'm not gonna like you at all. It does not matter to me. And that might sound messed up to say, but I mean, no, yeah. The poster of that story is not the asshole. And I feel bad saying the sister is an asshole because of her having autism, of course. But, man, it's rough. That is rough, for sure. Okay. How about... am I the asshole for backing up my sister? Oh wait, am I the asshole for backing up my sister-in-law and kicking my wife's friend out of the house for touching my niece? Alright, this one sounds like it's gonna be something. Okay, so my wife and I have been married for 3 years, and my wife and I have been married for 3 years, and my wife and I and my sister-in-law, who is the wife's sister, all live together. She has 2 kids, a 2-year-old or she has two kids, which is a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. Um, and me and my wife help her. Mostly my wife, because she's at home most of the time. But her friend has been a pain for us. I don't like her. She lives near us and has been friends with my wife for a year. Sorry, this one has a lot of typos. She comes over almost every other day and spends hours. She's senseless and rude and talks loudly. We have to remind her almost every time that she has to wash her hands before touching children, and the worst part, she sometimes shows up drunk. She came over 2 days ago and touched my 5-month-old niece without washing her hands, and on top of that, she was drunk. My sister-in-law got angry and asked her to get out of our house. She said that she's sorry and went to wash her hands, but my sister-in-law grabbed her hand and asked her to leave, and I had enough of her as well. So I joined in as well and asked her to leave. She was very angry but didn't say anything and left. But at night, when I was using my wife's phone, I saw that she texted my wife, and she said that we were rude and we should not have insulted her, and she was trying to warn her, my wife, that there's something going on between me and my sister-in-law. Ooh. When I saw her text, I asked my wife if she still wants to be friends with this one after what she texted. My wife said she doesn't know what I'm talking about. I showed her, and after reading, my wife said that she never expected her friend to say something like this, and she's breaking her friendship with her. I said it's necessary because if she didn't cut her off, I would have divorced her. My wife got angry at me for bringing up divorce, and she's not talking to me after yelling at me for half an hour. My sister-in-law says that I am wrong for mentioning divorce when it's her friend's fault and not my wife's. Am I the asshole? Forgive me for my English. Yeah, you're forgiven for the English. There were a lot of typos there. Okay. The ending there got me really off guard. I was on the poster side like the entire time until the end. Why would you break up divorce? What possible reason could there have been for bringing up divorce? That made no sense. That came out of nowhere, dude. Like, what the hell? The wife was already on your side. She had already said she was going to break off the friendship, and then you just had to throw in like, okay, good, well, if you weren't going out, I was going to divorce you, so there you go. What the hell are you thinking, dude? Okay. I'd say you're not the asshole for kicking out the friend, but you're 100% an asshole for saying that. Even the sister-in-law is like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, because genuinely, what made you think that was a good idea to say that? Yeah, that got me off guard. That got me very much off guard. And then yeah, the comments are saying the same thing. Like, she was already dropping the friend. Why'd you create drama? Like, exactly. Like, why would she was already giving you what she wanted, and then you still said something hurtful? Makes me kind of question it. Like, maybe he wants something to be going on between him and the sister-in-law. Like he was disappointed with her answer. Like, fine. Like, fine, be on my side. See if I care. Like, jeez. Like, it just made no sense to me for him to say something like that. I don't get it. Okay. How about Okay, this one's long, but we're looking at it. Am I the asshole for accusing my husband of being attracted to children and keeping him away from my kids? Alright, y'all. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but trigger warning for a lot of different topics like this, and assault, and violence, and stuff like this, like pedophilia. Should have mentioned that at the beginning, but yeah, be warned. Anything like that, just keep that in mind. Okay, please note my husband is my husband, male, 37, is not the biological father of my two children, both 9. He has been in their life since they were 6. He is the main father figure. I've been with my husband for almost 5 years. I only introduced him to my family 3 years ago. A couple months ago, me and my husband have been exploring a bit more in the bedroom. He opened up to a fantasy of his revolving age play and or age regression. I am not educated on either of these things, so sorry if I get this wrong. He asked me to wear more childlike clothing, like diapers, call him Dada in roleplay scenarios involving schoolgirls in uniform, and referred to everything we did as a child would. I said no for obvious reasons. It disgusted me. Oh my gosh. Wearing a diaper. I've never heard that. Calling him Dada. I mean, I've heard Daddy, but Dada is... That sounds so much worse for some reason. I mean... Let's keep reading here because we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, he tried to show me videos of what he wanted to try and to persuade me. The more I watched, the more I realized this was bordering pedophilia. He was insistent, getting angry and withdrawing from the family when I refused. He's irritable and snappy and has been trying to guilt trip me into exploring this fetish with him. I have never known him to push for sex or anything I have said no to. Sorry if I'm reading more slowly, by the way. I'm trying to reword the sentences as I'm reading them to not confuse you with the typos. This one's not as bad as the last one though. Okay. I have told him I think it's disgusting and a dog whistle for an attraction to minors. This is what really made him angry. What do you mean dog whistle? Is that like an actual saying, or is that like a typo? I haven't heard dog whistle, but I don't know. But he has been pushing for this for almost 2 months. I never meant to accuse him, even if that's how he sees it. I'm just terrified of him blurring the line between adults that look like kids and actual kids. I've been thinking about it and come to the conclusion that I do not want my children around a man that is attracted to childlike characteristics. I do not want him alone with my daughters, so I requested we keep distance in the family, and either he can stay elsewhere for a while, or me and the kids will move in with my sister for a while. He got angry and left to stay at a friend's, and is now accusing me of denying him a family that is rightfully his to be a part of. just scarred. I'm just scared for the safety of my children and would rather keep them safe over keeping him happy. I feel like I should trust my husband with my kids. If I didn't, I shouldn't have married him. However, we were always open and honest, or so I thought. If I had known about this side of him, I wouldn't have ever brought him into my family. Is this just a harmless preference, or is it a perverse? I refuse to put my children in a situation where they could be harmed. His immature reactions are not normal for him, and I'm really questioning my choice to integrate him into my family. Okay. Well, obviously, you are not the asshole. You're just being a good mom and protecting your kids. If anybody calls you an asshole for that, then they need to get their eyes and brain checked. I don't have much to say about this one. Just keep them away from that man at all costs, and, consider divorce. Strongly consider divorce. I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact about the diapers and the Dada thing. I mean, that is insane to me. Okay. Next one. Let's go with... Okay, this one, I'm not gonna read this story. I'm just gonna read the title because I wanna do a quick round here. Am I the asshole for am I the asshole for stopping? Dude, I cannot read. Am I the asshole for not seeing anyone? Or oh my, bear with me. I'll get it this time. Am I the asshole for not seeing someone anymore after learning that they have a kid? There's probably more to the story, but my answer is probably going to be the same either way. No, you're not the asshole for that. Some people just don't like kids and don't want to have kids. And if you didn't know that the other person had a kid going into the relationship or going into the dating experience with them, then that wasn't really fair of them to not tell you about the kid. And yeah, you have the right to not pursue a relationship. In fact, if you stay with them because you feel bad for leaving, yet you don't want kids, that's going to make it worse for everyone, for you, for the partner, and for the kid. So get out of there if you don't want kids, and that is perfectly fine. That is your preference. And if the other person gets upset, well, they have no right to be upset. They never told you about the kid. You have no obligation to the kid. I mean, unless you've been there for a while and they got attached, or you're the biological parent. But otherwise, if you just got there and you didn't know, there's nothing wrong with, being like, I'm sorry, this is too much for me. I gotta go, Okay, I just want to do a quick round there. Okay, how about let's do a big scroll here. Deep dive. Alright. This one is interesting. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my family and friends and disappear with no warning? I don't know. Let's see. I'm a 24-year-old woman who's always felt socially awkward. And around 10 or 11, I started struggling to connect with others, even my own family. Being sheltered by my mom did not help. I had little exposure to people or social situations. On top of that, I dealt with an absent dad who came and went as he pleased, and a mom who was emotionally and verbally abusive. Overnight, I shut down and withdrew from everyone. My older sister also had a rocky relationship with our mom, but she had her dad's side and other relatives to turn to. I didn't. It always hurt watching how naturally she connected with others, while I felt stuck, sad, and invisible. As we got older, we talk about our childhood, but she often minimized my experiences. She'd say she had it worse, like my pain didn't matter. That really hurt, especially because there were moments I genuinely felt unloved and wished I could disappear. Anytime I tried to explain, I was brushed off as being dramatic or lying. My mom's the same way. I've tried to bring up some of the things she said or done, or things that still affect me, but she either doesn't remember or denies it ever happened. Once she called me something awful, and even a decade later I remember it clearly, but she claims it never happened. It's frustrating and painful trying to heal when the people who hurt you won't even acknowledge it. I tried therapy, but it didn't help much either. In late 2024, I had a conversation with my sister after we all ended up living in the same house again. I had been trying for over a year to plan a simple hangout, nothing specific, just waiting for her to have time. She's always busy, and I tried to be patient and flexible, but she never followed through. Meanwhile, I'd see her go out with her sister-in-law, someone she constantly complains about, yet she dropped everything for her. She did invite me once, but it felt like it was just so she wouldn't be alone. That hurt. When I finally asked her why, the conversation upset her, and she stopped talking to me. What crushed me most was seeing her talk about me to the same people she always trashed. It made me feel like I meant nothing to the only people I care about. I also have a longtime friend from middle school. We bonded because we were both quiet. We were both figuring out adulthood. But I feel like she doesn't really get me either. She's more free to do trips and events with her other friends, while I can't join as easily. I know it might make me look flaky, and I've even told her I'd understand if she didn't want to be friends anymore, but it still hurts to feel like I'm being left behind or seen as unreliable. To sum it all up, I'm tired. It's painful to feel so lonely around the people I care about most. On top of everything, I've been silently dealing with a medical condition and depression. No one seems to notice. They just see me as angry, lazy, or flaky, when in reality, I'm just doing my best to survive. Sometimes I feel like it's better to just be alone than to feel this kind of pain around others, but they're all I have. I'm scared of ending up with no one, of not having a family. I feel confused, stuck, and completely lost about what to do. So would I be the asshole if I just up and left? I truly think they would all be okay without me anyway. Okay, that one was pretty long. Yeah, that one's pretty long. Okay, well, no, I don't think you would be the asshole if you just up and left. Especially with your family. I mean, your family as a whole, they super suck, okay? They're crappy to you, and you don't deserve to be treated like that. So with them, I don't care. Like, I wouldn't care about telling them I would just get out of there because, I mean, they don't need to know what you're doing because they don't deserve to be involved now if they never took the interest before, you know? However, I would tell your friend first. Don't abandon your friend without warning if y'all have been together for this long, you know? Like, I understand that you feel distant with them and others, but they might feel really close to you since y'all bonded and everything. So I would suggest not just ditching your friend and to let them know what's happening. But as far as your family is concerned, screw them. Screw them, you know? Okay, let's do one more. We'll do one more story. How about, hang on, I'm reading through the titles. I want to find a good one. How about, alright, we'll do this one. Actually, no. How about, okay. Am I the asshole for dropping my dad from my life and refusing to meet him again? Actually, I'm sorry, I know that title sounded insanely crazy, but I just scrolled through it. That one's gonna take like 20 minutes to read. I'm sorry. Okay, oh. Okay, here we go. This is it. Am I the asshole for claiming my aunt's inheritance when it was originally intended for my brother? Okay, this one's not too long. Okay. So, my 30-year-old Aunt Bea. Oh. Wait. Oh, wait. Sorry. Me, a 30-year-old female, and then Aunt Bea, who was an 87-year-old female, had just passed away at the end of last year. Aunt Bea had an older dog that she got after the death of her only son over 15 years ago. The goodest boy, Troy. He was her survival. Troy became her son and a four-legged friend. She definitely liked him more than any of us or anyone in general. He was a pampered pooch, and she made sure of it. Fast forward to February of last year, where the downfall of Aunt Bea began. She was hospitalized after getting an infection from a knee replacement that just started after. I'm sorry. Let me reread that properly. She was hospitalized after getting an infection from a knee replacement that just started a snowball of other health issues, eventually taking her in October. During her original hospitalization, John, my 35-year-old brother, took Troy in his care. John and I lived together at the time, but life was crazy. Life was crazy busy for me, and I had no time to help with Troy. John did absolutely everything for him the first 3 months until he moved in with his boyfriend. No pets allowed, so Troy had to stay. John worked near the house, so he would drop by 2 to 3 times a week to do some of the ridiculous extras Aunt Bea required. Other than that, Troy's care was solely on me. He seriously was the best dog ever and old as dirt. So I did my absolute best to follow Aunt Bea's request for Troy, and I really did try to give him the best rest of his life without his mom. In February of this year, almost to the date of Aunt Bea's first surgery, Troy went to be with her. My kids and I took it harder than I thought we would. I ended up making a memorial for him in our garden and burying his ashes with Aunt Bea, per her request. That was it with Aunt Bea and Troy. Other than the random waves of grief from such good memories, they were gone, or so I thought. Right after Troy passed, I was contacted from an attorney about her estate. I go through with meeting the attorney about all she had, and she didn't have much. She was never married and worked random receptionist or secretary jobs her whole life. Owned a small 2-bedroom home until the early 80s, when she moved into an assisted living home, which was crazy expensive. Well, she left it all to me. What little was left became mine. I literally had no clue. I didn't know what was happening with her estate, nor did I really care, other than Troy. Other than Troy, we were the technical next of kin. If I actually gave it a thought, I probably could have assumed that I might have been involved, but I digress. Well, John knew we were in line, or expected to be in line. I guess there was a conversation between him and Aunt Bea in the hospital, where she told him that she was leaving everything to Troy. So whoever had him at the time that was him. Once he found out I received everything, he flipped out, calling me a mooch, spreading lies about my care for Troy and other heinous things that just aren't true. He's made it a point to tell everyone that the only reason I took Troy was for the money. He did end up moving just this month to a place he could have taken Troy back. Not that that matters. We haven't spoken in over a month now. He is still smearing my name to anyone who will listen, and I am taking what Aunt Bea left me to get my little family just a bit ahead for the first time. So I ask, am I the asshole for claiming her inheritance? Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I struggled to keep up with that one. I kept getting the brother and the dog confused in my head, and I kind of lost track with what I was reading half the time. But I wouldn't say you're an asshole, and I wouldn't say the brother is acting like an asshole, but like, I don't think he's totally in the wrong, but he is acting like an asshole. But I think y'all could like maybe split the inheritance. You take enough for your family though, obviously, but I don't know, that story kind of confused my brain, and I couldn't really read it properly, so I don't really know how to feel about it. So, but y'all let me know what you think of that last story, because I can't really make heads or tails of it. Anyway, that was the last one. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope you all are feeling much more relaxed and sleepy compared to before you clicked on this video. Let me know if you want a part 3 of this, because I do really enjoy making these Reddit videos. They're very interesting and sometimes scary, but also fun to do. Let me know which story was the most crazy to you, and yeah, that's about it. So again, thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks again,